Hey, Eurovision fan, it's Alesia Michelle. Efendi just rehearsed Matahari. Okay, and yeah, we're gonna be breaking down what I saw on the stage and everything from that performance. I think I want to start off and say that yeah, so let me hop in the comments. ESC, Mr. Lunatic, they're saying the staging was boring, but she could sing it. Gracie Dancer says, Effendi is not a dancer, so the staging is more like her standing around. Okay, so here, let's get into this. Deep is here. Hey, Raven. So let's start off with the styling. I love what everybody is wearing. Effendi looks great. She's a petite girl. So I love that they have her in sort of a short dress to kind of elongate her legs a little bit. I love the way that they've styled the dancers. The dancers sort of have like little variations. So like no one's wearing the exact same thing. And I love that. I think it makes everyone kind of stand out in a good way. So I love the styling. I think everyone looks good and will look good on the stage. The back LEDs, we didn't see any pyro. There will probably be pyro, but we do have some LED moments of fire, and it's sort of like a turquoise pink background. There's a gold ball and sort of a cobra snake in the middle. Visually, it's definitely impactful and it looks good, except for the fact, y'all, we thought this year we weren't going to have that many wide shots. There's a ton of wide shots. There's a ton of wide shots, a ton of wide shots that we don't need, that shouldn't be there. And unfortunately, I think they're going to keep them there. I don't even think they'll listen to us. I think they're going to keep a lot of those wide shots there. Let me talk about the vocal. The vocal was great. She sounded good. And I mean, Effendi can sing. I mean, yes, there were backing vocals there, but she was fine. She wasn't pitchy. I didn't hear any bum notes. She sang through this pretty effortlessly. They don't have her doing a ton of choreo, but I will say there were some moments where the choreo was a little bit awkward and she maybe missed the mark or two. At that breakdown element in the song where it's a da-na-na, you know, at the breakdown of the song, we could have more tight camera angles. Instead, they start wheeling in a bunch of wide shots that we don't need. I'm thinking the reason why they have tons of wide shots is because there's going to be a lot of pyro and they want people to see the pyro. But I don't think it builds. I don't think that just seeing this teeny tiny stage far away and pyro gives us that rousing moment that we want at the crescendo of this song. You know, at the crescendo of this song, yeah, we want to feel that build. And I think to create that tension, tight camera angles would work a little bit better. Elliot says, I think it feels a niche, but it's in my border leading into qualification. Are wide shots of things in staging or just Azerbaijan? Azerbaijan had too many. Israel had a little bit too many wide shots. But honestly, everybody else kept it intimate. Only Israel and Azerbaijan, I think, did too much with, with the wide shots. So here's the thing. Azerbaijan, they didn't throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. And unfortunately, I think they needed to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it, especially given what we've seen today. I think Azerbaijan was already kind of borderline. I think they do have neighbors that if we look at historical voting records, Azerbaijan does have friends in this semi, but are the friends gonna help them with this one? I think Azerbaijan, I was putting in the qualification because I assumed they would throw everything in the kitchen sink at the performance. They haven't done that. And it could be this is the thing. Azerbaijan suffers a little bit from what Israel, I think, did today. There was nothing really in this performance that couldn't have been done, you know, Eurovision 2015. You know what I mean? As far as like the technology that they're utilizing. So Israel did that and Azerbaijan also did that. Again, that could work to Azerbaijan's advantage because some people sometimes feel like when you've got too much tech on stage and the lasers jutting out and all of that sort of responsive looking stuff, people can feel like it's maybe too overproduced. But I wonder if that stuff is just becoming so ubiquitous now that if you don't use it, then it's kind of like, oh, this isn't as good because this other thing kind of had the shiny new toy. And yeah, it was, yeah, there was nothing about this staging that was very different. Even when I think about like Doom Tech Tech, other than the large LED in the background, you know, because we've got dancers, we've got a competent vocalist. But honestly, the good things about this performance is the styling is beautiful and she sounded great. The styling is beautiful and she sounded great. I think there's still some polish that we need with the dancing, especially if you're going to do an ethno pop bop. You know, we need the choreo. We need the dancing to be all the way there, and it wasn't quite there yet. And I mean, we don't know if it will get there because I guess this has been like a struggle throughout. And again, I think the lack of tech utilized does potentially hurt this with both juries and televote, I think, to be quite frank, because I do think juries do look for like, ooh, what did they do with the tech? Let me hop in the comments. Marco says, Elena and Albina crust Azerbaijan dream. Low key. Adrian, is Israel in danger? Israel's in danger not because of Azerbaijan. Israel is in danger really because of Croatia. Becky, people are saying she might not qualify based on this. Well, honestly, people were saying it might not qualify before. So she really needed to, you know, maybe add like a little extra oomph or maybe have a little bit of tech where people go, okay, no one's going to be able to refuse that. And we didn't get that today. Yeah, Brenda says, what happens after she says, let go? We get some nice tight camera angles and then they do a whole bunch of wide shots. And to me, it kind of kills the illusion of that like stirring kind of frenetic moment that I think we want to create in the song. Steve, and Israel could do a lot more than that with staging. They probably could have. And Azerbaijan could have done more with their staging. Ben Clark, I feel like Azerbaijan will realize this and pile money into it last minute. I mean, they still could. But arguably, what money are they really going to pile in? Like, what can they do as of now other than have more fire? And again, we could have fire on the stages in 2015. So what can we do in this performance now to add that 2021 technical augmented reality moment? I don't know if there's still time to add that piece in. And what I think Azerbaijan and Israel too, which is, you know, not far away from this one, is adding that tech 2021 feel to the visual. Adrian, Azerbaijan needs to throw money at it now. Yeah, but what can they do? Nil Era, I still trust Eden's charisma. I mean, I do. I think of the bops, we connect probably the most with Eden. You know, in the song, because she's just very playing to the camera. It feels very endearing. The moments where she sort of goes, ha, you know, you feel it. But actually, the second person I would say we connect with the most is Efendi, because it is going that more traditional staging route where you do have a moment to really see her. And there are moments on the stage where she's sort of like, she's like Cleopatra. And you kind of see her face that she's happy to be there. And you have those moments, whereas when you're watching like an Albina or Elena perform, it's slicked, it's polished, and it's almost like every single facial expression is, you know, sort of storybooked out, which honestly, I like that stuff. I like the perfection. I'm like, give me, you know, the Beyonce, Britney Spears in Vegas concert, like polish. Like I like that stuff, but I do think there's something to be said for having those moments where you sort of break that fourth wall and it's like, I'm just a girl and I'm just happy to be up here on the stage performing. And Efendi gives us those moments in her face, and so does Eden in the performance. Yolk, I also think that viewers will connect with Azerbaijan. Mark, I don't think Israel are in danger. Her voice just from the sneak peek was really beautiful. Israel is definitely in danger. like I don't want to mince words. Israel is definitely in danger because honestly, everybody is. This semifinal is stacked. This semifinal is extremely competitive. Like everybody's in danger, low key. I mean, Lithuania's fine. Let me go through the list. Let me tell you who I think is like really like that I would say is like fine. Honestly, Lithuania, Russia after yesterday, I feel like is just fine. Cyprus is fine. I would say personally, after seeing Belgium, I just think Belgium is on a plane unto itself. And I think they've got a very targeted demo that isn't going to pull, like there's no direct competition really for Belgium. And so arguably I'd say Belgium might be safe, but I don't even want to go there. To be honest, the only people that I really feel like are safe are Lithuania, low-key Russia after yesterday. Cyprus is safe. And Malta. So, yeah. Wow. This is just so competitive. Yeah, this is for semifinal 1. Ben Clark, do you feel that they will need to use something like robots used for chingas? They need something because it can't just be fire. It can't just be fire and pyro. They need something else for people to latch on. I mean, I think the song itself sonically will stand out, but in such a tough semi, it's like we got to pull out all the stops. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Someone just copped in my comments and said, your opinion is not that interesting to me. And yet you are here. Why are you here? You know what? I could help you out. I will just, now you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to be here. You don't have to be here. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think, Azerbaijan just needs something for folks to latch on to. And, yeah, how many backing dancers does Efendi have? I think it's 4, 2 on either side. The backing dancers were great. Yeah, the backing dancers were great. That could maybe be a good thing. Yeah, that could be a good thing. Someone asked more choreography needed. I don't think we need more choreography. I just think maybe some more tech. Maybe we needed more tech on the stage. Yeah. Yeah. And Leon says, I was expecting her to dance a bit. She is actually dancing a little bit. She is. But that's my view on Azerbaijan. That's my reaction. What do you think? Talk to me in the comments below. I will be back. Up next, we have Ukraine, which y'all know is my most played song this year for Eurovision 2021. My most played song is Ukraine. So I'm really curious to see what they're bringing to the stage. Because y'all know I really want, we're going to lose a good song. And I'm hoping it's not Ukraine. So, yeah, I will be back hopefully pretty soon with my reaction to Ukraine's rehearsal. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Join me for lives like this so we can actually talk in real time. If you're in these comments talking to me and you're not subscribed, come on. You got to subscribe. We're having so many good conversations. So yes. Oh, Lily, are you up in here, girl? Okay. All right. But thank y'all so much for joining. I will be back with my reaction to Ukraine's rehearsal. Whoo, I am excited for that rehearsal completely.